I think about the benefits of urban density whenever I walk down the street. The vibrancy and safety of compact neighborhoods are unparalleled experiences. And the aesthetics of European cities attract millions of Americans across an ocean for vacation. No doubt about it, density is a key ingredient for any city experience. But its importance runs way deeper than looks. And here in the States, our cities lack density outside downtowns. Consequently, scenes like this, and this fill me and many others with bitter disappointment. Why? To answer that question, we need to discuss land value zones within cities, why density is critical to capturing their benefits, and how it paves the way to creating an equitable society. So without any further ado, let's introduce the foundational zone, public infrastructure. Under our feet is a maze of piping for water, sewer, gas, and stormwater networks. Above ground, we have transportation, communication, park, electricity, and waste management systems. Our infrastructure is so impressive that when indigenous Amazonians make contact with civilization for the first time, it's not the futuristic iPads or drones that they're amazed by. It's the fact that our taps release fresh water on demand. We eat, sleep, and live on top of a matrix designed specifically for human habitation, and that, in and of itself, represents tremendous value. Obviously, this civilization foundation is difficult and costly to construct. Within city limits, Austin's water and sewer systems span 6,200 miles, enough to stretch from Houston to Dallas 26 times. Unfortunately, this system is underutilized due to Austin's lack of density. Contrast it to Chicago, which has slightly more piping but almost triple the population. The beauty of the Windy City is that its foundation, its pipes, roads, lighting, etc., sees much greater use than Austin's does. In a perfect world, cities would strive to imitate Chicago and leverage density as a way to increase infrastructure effectiveness, while at the same time reducing the need to build sprawling infrastructure. Agglomeration is also extremely important for the next layer of value, the active transportation zone. This zone is the area accessible by walking, cycling, and public transit, and Google's Walk Score maps are a great way to identify this zone. What makes it so special is that foot trips made within it are light and far cheaper to support than their low-density equivalents, cars and highways. How much so? Well, if the city of Portland were to rebuild its 300-mile bicycling network that connects the entire city, or build 1 mile of urban freeway, the cost would be the same, $60 million. Active transit is also much less energy intensive, and these stunning plots of density versus energy consumption show that yes, replacing car trips with foot trips makes a big difference. Ultimately, the ease of transportation in this zone calls for maximizing the number of people who live within it. Of course, that's only achieved through density. I also want to call your attention to the psychological benefits of walking. Research has found that walking relieves stress and contributes to elevated moods. This effect is so obvious that we make music celebrating how a simple stroll can completely alter one's day for the better. With that said, walkable zones of entertainment, which include parks, bars, theaters, and other smiling faces, sit within the zone of active transit. They're basically those cream-colored areas on Google Maps, and they're important to creating culture and happiness within an urban system. That lovely, lively feeling we humans get from walkable zones are what makes city living desirable to me and seemingly every other millennial. What few walkable districts that exist are only located inside cities, and their entertainment value should be exposed to as many people as possible. As you can probably guess by now, this means increasing density. Finally, there is one more layer of value: opportunity zones. Economic activity in and around downtown is extremely important, and those who live nearby get first-hand access to that activity. Those are people like me. I'm a short bus ride away from downtown, where networking conferences like the Urban Land Institute's Marketplace are held. Attending these networking events are easy, fun, convenient, and, crucially, are the best way in which I can advance my career. My proximity to downtown no doubt plays a large role in my regular attendance, and I truly wish that Austin were denser so as to increase the number of people exposed to downtown opportunity. Altogether, I call the layering of land values the zone of prosperity. Between civilization, active transportation options, advancement opportunities, and entertainment, this deep value is the fertile soil from which density can sprout. In fact, it's necessary. With land so important, the buildings built on top of it should be equal in value, like 1212 Chacon. This land is 2 miles away from downtown, already has public infrastructure, has access to reliable transit, and is within walking distance to several local bars. Before it was redeveloped, the land could fit at most 5 single-family homes. But instead, the developer built 3 floors, and now the land can support 28 residences along with ground floor shopping spaces, a much better fit for what the land has to offer. And there's another pressing reason to build up: affordability. In-demand cities can see their zones of prosperity pushing home prices upward. Here's an example: 1305 Kinney Avenue. This rundown shack is in Austin's hottest neighborhood, and it costs double the national median home price because of it. High land values drove the price higher and higher until it reached a price that excluded lower-income families from living in it. When a hot downtown is surrounded by single-family homes, the scarcity of housing space causes whatever housing is available to rise in price. If left unchecked, this process will end up excluding lower and middle classes from living inside or near the city, and this effect has been well documented by local news sources. But wait a second. Equality and happiness are key ingredients to creating a strong society. So important that Thomas Jefferson included the pursuit of happiness as an unalienable right in the Declaration of Independence. And societies that face stark inequality end up dealing with a range of problems, from civil unrest to, in the worst cases, complete societal collapse. We only need to look back to France, Russia, or the Roman Empire to see how inequality tears a social fabric apart. Today, in-demand cities that fail to add density exclude people from enjoying both the happiness and opportunity that they have to offer. This is unequal, unethical, and unsustainable. Luckily, by building up, we can create affordability. Back to 1212 Chacon. The price to buy a unit in the building is $150,000, 4 times cheaper than a home in the same neighborhood. There are several reasons for 1212's affordability, but the driving factor is that the cost of the land is now split amongst 28 residences rather than 5. What does this mean? Density is the fundamental mechanism that makes valuable land accessible for all. In our American cities, I understand that density is difficult to build due to a variety of reasons, such as zoning, autocentric infrastructure, and cultural opposition. And I also know that density isn't a silver bullet for affordability, happiness, and opportunity. Otherwise, Manhattan would be a literal paradise. Nevertheless, land near city cores is undeniably valuable due to the underlying land value layers. And cities around the world are dense because that's the only way to take advantage of them. Everywhere except America, it seems. By and large, our city's inner rings need to become more compact in order to capitalize on valuable land, build a sustainable future, and help foster equality within our society. If you enjoyed my video and feel as if I have earned your subscription and/or like, please do so. If while watching my video, questions about density arose within you, please comment. It's a tricky topic to write about, and I welcome any healthy discussion in the comments section. Anyway, thanks again for watching. This is Vitamin Mind.